Undocumented Grab and Uber drivers can stay on the road until the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board decides on the appeal filed by the two ride-hailing companies. Grab and Uber on Thursday filed separate motions asking the LTFRB to reconsider its July 11 order, telling transport network companies to purge drivers with expired or no permits by July 26. The LTFRB would deliberate on whether to keep, revise, or lift its order within 15 days. Without the motion, undocumented Grab and Uber drivers may be fined as high as 120,000 pesos and detained for as long as 3 months starting July 26. Grab and Uber allowed undocumented drivers to continue operations despite the LTFRB order. The companies argue they did not enforce the order pending a clarification. But public utility vehicle groups called out the LTFRB for its unfair decision. The Philippine National Taxicab Operators Association said the LTFRB's move is an accommodation of Uber and Grab. Commuters on social media protest the LTFRB's crackdown on the popular ride-sharing app companies, saying the move only hurts the riding public, not protect them. Public Works Secretary Mark Villar is the richest member of President Rodrigo Duterte's cabinet with a net worth of 1.4 billion pesos. This is based on the 2016 Statements of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth or SALN of cabinet members obtained by the Malacanang Press Corps from the Malacanang Records Office. Cabinet members were told to file their SALNs by April 30, 2017. The documents are made available to the MPC Thursday, but do not include the SALNs of Special Assistant to the President Bongo, Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo, Cabinet Secretary Leoncio Evasco Jr., and Environment Secretary Roy Simato. Villar was president of Crown Asia Corporation before becoming managing director of Vista Land and Life Escapes. He is the son of real estate tycoon and former Senate President Manny Villar and worked a decade in the family business. Villar is followed by Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III with a net worth of 351.86 million pesos. Third richest in the cabinet is Information and Communications Technology Secretary Rodolfo Salalima with a net worth of 304.96 million pesos. Fourth richest is Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade with a net worth of 302 million pesos, followed by former Environment Secretary Gina Lopez with 266.46 million pesos. The cabinet members who declared the lowest net worth in their SALNs are mostly the leftist secretaries. Agrarian Reform Chief Rafael Mariano, who was a farmers' rights activist before joining government, reported a net worth of only a little over 273,600 pesos. National Anti-Poverty Commission Chief Lisa Massa filed a net worth of 730,700 pesos. Solicitor General Jose Calida on Thursday says he will set in motion the re-arrest of National Democratic Front consultants who were temporarily released from detention to participate in the peace talks. Calida makes the announcement on Twitter, a day after President Rodrigo Duterte ordered government negotiators not to resume formal talks with communist rebels until their armed units stop attacking government troops in Mindanao, where martial law is in place. Chief Peace Advisor Jesus de Reza also announces that the government is canceling back-channel talks. The moves come after a clash on Wednesday between suspected members of the New People's Army and the Presidential Security Group in Aracan, North Cotabato. Malacanang on Thursday urges American lawmakers to consider all sides of the Duterte administration's war on drugs. On the same day, the United States Congress is set to hold a public hearing on the issue. Presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella says, quote, "The universality of human rights presupposes due process to be observed by all, and as such, any proceedings that allege wrongdoing should provide the opportunity for all sides to be considered." Abella asks the U.S. Congress not to give way to insinuations and to verify numbers cited by resource persons during the hearing. The Duterte administration has disputed figures cited by media as the number of killings being linked to the anti-drugs campaign. Media have used a figure of at least 7,000 deaths, which includes the killings in legitimate police operations, victims in cases of deaths under investigation, and victims in cases where investigations had concluded. But the Philippine government insists only killings during legitimate police operations should be counted as the drug war's death toll. United States President Donald Trump's eldest son and his former campaign manager will testify before Congress next week as part of investigations into the Trump team's alleged contacts with Russia. Donald Trump Jr. and Paul Manafort are scheduled to testify in an open hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee next Wednesday. Both attended a controversial meeting with a Russian lawyer last year in which they expected to receive dirt on Trump's 2016 election rival Hillary Clinton. Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, who also attended the same meeting, will also testify before the Senate Intelligence Committee on Monday, but in a closed-door session. Trump Jr. sent shockwaves through Washington when he confirmed the meeting by releasing a series of emails in which he was told the campaign could get very high-level and sensitive information that was part of Russia and its government support for Mr. Trump. Still on Trump, the U.S. president says he regretted appointing Jeff Sessions as Attorney General as he sought to protect himself from the growing firestorm over Russia's alleged election meddling. Sessions was one of the first senior Republican politicians to endorse Trump before last November's election. He stood aside in March from overseeing an FBI-led probe into whether members of the Trump team colluded with Moscow during the election campaign. It earlier emerged that Sessions did not disclose during a Senate confirmation hearing that he met twice with the Russian ambassador to Washington. Trump says Sessions had acted unfairly in taking the job in the first place if he had felt in any way compromised. Trump says, quote, "How do you take a job and then recuse yourself? If he would have recused himself before the job, I would have said, 'Thanks, Jeff, but I'm not going to take you.'"